What up? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Imposter Syndrome, episode 210, season 2, episode 10. Probably part 1 of 2. We'll probably get on later tonight. I'm already making promises before I even start this one. Yeah. Had a bunch of cool shit in my head that I wanted to say that I probably will stay fucked up, that I was thinking about in the shower or whatever. But yeah, I'm here with the pasta, the fake pasta. We're gonna eat some SpaghettiOs first, charge up, do a little mukbang. This one might be slow. Yeah, we're gonna grub, probably talk a little bit about imposter syndrome, some cool shit. I hate giving away too much information about my real life, but I'll probably start talking about who I am, whatever I'm doing. Some of the shit connects, and I leave out stuff, and I'm too uptight. But yeah, y'all like, what is this dude talking about? So I'm watching the house. My mom's out of town. She's doing her thing. And I'm out there making my SpaghettiOs. Feeling ashamed of SpaghettiOs, you know, being whack. And she has her YouTube on out there. I have it on for the dog while she's gone. And I'm cooking up the SpaghettiOs, whatever. I'm warming them up, heating them up, and something's just on. Like she likes to put the dog TV on for the dog, like just other dogs playing or whatever, with like Mozart playing or some shit. And it'll just drone through the walls all day, so I'll fucking turn that shit off, or I'll put on whatever she watches on YouTube. I'll just put it on, and so there's people talking for the dog. And one of her YouTubers was on, one of the people that she must watch, and it's like from this meta. It's like homemaker meta, like these women that make, you know, just homemakers, and they just review product all day and literally clean the carpet on their steps, like film themselves cleaning the fucking carpet off of like each step on their stairway. I'm sitting there watching it thinking how miserable, how pathetic, what shit content, whatever. But then I was thinking, like, you know, they're taking pride in their stuff, and it must be really nice to have your own shit, you know, while I'm eating my stupid SpaghettiOs. You know, appreciate your actual pasta or whatever. Even though I love SpaghettiOs, that's besides the point. But yeah, just thinking to myself, like, this is their content. I can't be that much of a hater to not understand the shit, because it comes off really strange. You know, these women are like reviewing the most mundane shit, reviewing cleaner, but that automatically you're like, this is their lives. That's why this is content. You know, this is what they have to make content out of. So it immediately strikes you as like fucked up and sad. But when I was like young and skating, I used to, like, there was an old Asian dude that lived down the street from me, and he would sweep the driveway. And of course, old people do that, but this guy was extra chill about it. You know, he was like really just enjoyed the shit. And I used to just be like, man, that must be so nice just to sweep your driveway and enjoy that. So I get it, but my point is, like, I was like really sick to my stomach watching it at first. Hearing the lady talk about how she cleaned each step, pulled all the dog hair out of it, going on about there wasn't as much dog hair in it. It was really weird. But then, like I said, I saw her, the next scene, she was at her little washing machines and stuff. She was just enjoying her life. So I can't be too down on her. And Yeah, imposter syndrome. If you don't have that, you're likely someone who's really fucking hard to talk to and makes everyone uncomfortable. So it's hard to not have imposter syndrome. That's the 5-minute rule, little soapbox on that shit. Don't be ashamed of your spaghettios. Be hyped on the real pasta too. Enjoy all that shit. I'm constantly obsessing over the stream and all that, and it's finally looking good. It pops or whatever, and so you just like gotta stop and, it sounds whack, cliche, but just like appreciate the shit and like go back and look at your early stuff or whatever. So that lady really obsessing over her house got to me. I was like, because it wasn't a mansion, it was not even a McMansion. The carpet on the stairs was like generic carpet that you see in every apartment, you know, whatever, like not a pattern, anything. But she was like in it, and I don't care if it's fucking Adderall that gets you there, whatever takes you to get hype, downers, uppers. If you can get there, you know, get there while you can, like they say. Like I said, I spend so much time being salty. I'm trying to get more and more over just being salty and appreciate things. And there's like, I see these women like, I'm sure they're the same as everyone else, but they're just enjoying their shit so much, and it's just like, if they stop for 2 seconds to look at what they're doing, I'm sure they would be like, this is kind of crazy. But same thing for me. The last episode before last, titled Humiliation Ritual, it's, you know, also revolving around this imposter syndrome thing where, like I said, if you don't suffer from it, you're actually too good for life or whatever. You're fucked. Like, you gotta always have that. You just like, there's people that don't have it for sure that I see, that I aspire to. I'm not gonna name names because they wouldn't want to be dropped, but yeah. It comes to a point though where it does become imposter syndrome. Yeah, I see them and I appreciate it and I respect them and stuff, and like, but you gotta draw the line, you know what I mean, and be vulnerable for 5 fucking seconds if you can, just to get like your people's back around you, to be like in that community. I'm not like super injected into any one community yet because I'm like on doing all of the production, you know, so it's like you skip around from music to the visuals and the audio, or yeah, I'm repeating myself, but yeah. So you never really find your niche until you're really in there, and it's like boiling a frog, you know, putting the frog in, how do you boil it from, you know, you start it off really cold or whatever, this frog boiling slow. I'm butchering it, but you know what I'm saying, I'm butchering the frog. But yeah, before you know it, you're heated up, and all you've ever known is the heat. You know, before all it is cold, and all you know is the cold, but eventually you're just in there and stuck, fried, baked into the fucking image, and you're not suffering from imposter syndrome anymore, and you can really enjoy that and be toxic about it, and like wear your heart on your sleeve, or not wear your heart on your sleeve, or wear it on your sleeve. You know, there's just so many versions of it. It's weird. And I'm lucky to have stopped suffering from it entirely to talk about it. But it's always there. It's like not something that keeps me up, but that's the worst thing, is to have it like just thinking you have control over it, and just peeks its little head up with someone who has, you know, way better art, or way better, you know, not even art, just the production. I'm just obsessing over production these days, like the whole thing, you know, the product. So yeah, there's always gonna be someone that with the better ribbon on it, who's just killing it, you know. And sometimes it's even crazy. You don't want to give people props. You're afraid to even give them props. Like, that's what I'm doing lately, is trying to just like stop and not even focus on my own thing, and just so it can grow. Because I feel like I had my last little interview, whatever, with the guys, with one of the rapper friends, and they were a little bit late, you know. No, it's all good, whatever, fashionably late, I'm not gonna hate on them. But I'm so obsessive that I started to like agonize over my monologue, and to where when I got to it, I had thought about it way too much, even for 5 extra fucking minutes. I set the time for 9:30, hope to God that that'll be close to that, just so I can, like, it's like double dutch or whatever, just so you can get in there and not consider anything. to give yourself room to breathe or whatever, give the idea room to grow. Of course it was fucked, it didn't work out. Like I said, they're my friends and everything, but it could have been better. I'm gonna probably clip some of this stuff later, go over that and laugh at it. But yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I know I'm not so insane. That's the weird thing is, though, I feel like I should be in the shower fucking in tears or whatever, and that's when I really feel crazy and genuinely mentally ill, is when I'm not in the grips, like in the throes of passion over this shit anymore. When I'm getting hit up by an ex or something and it's not phasing me anymore because this shit is fully taking the space of like any one thing or image or act. It's like, permeates your being or whatever. And sick. Like I said, when you can let it just go ahead and breathe through you. Like I said, not to sound super cliche and whack, but it's sick. Even though my main guys are like Cobra, I really try to just like go in on them and like give Cobra the main screen and I have it set up here. I'll have my editing screen small. Cobra's got front seat. Like I'm letting him happen because he's the best, like you really got to recognize like who's sick, who's not, and that not everything's gonna fucking happen right away. Like I'm approaching this like 3D stuff that way. Like I'm not a good artist. I can't draw. I don't have any real like I can't doodle. So I'm having to constantly consider that, like, and I'm not gonna go through like, the stupid like rules of animation, I'm not going through that way. I'm gonna go to just like rip off someone and learn from the donut or whatever. But I have to just stop and remind myself, dude, you're not a fucking artist. You're not an artist. You're not an artist until you're a fucking artist and you're selling it. I mean, that's the worst definition. You're an artist when you sell it and you're making money. But I mean, that's the real hallmark of like the grind set. Like I said, all that stuff that comes off really cheesy. But then when you're really in it, it's like the only thing that can keep you tethered. Because like I said, otherwise you're in the shower, like either taking a crazy cold shower or like trying to soothe yourself with the heat, whatever it is. You're just on whatever wavelength. You can't like ride get above the clouds and that's always a problem. You're cherry picking from pain while you're above the clouds and just trying to not get pulled down into it, or trying to learn how to operate in that craziness. Like I said, the interviews and stuff, having people come through wasted. I'm not straight edge. I get fucked up. Having to like learn how to deal with my own craziness. It's fun, but it's like you see why people get sober. All these like rich fucks, all these Hollywood people, they put so much of a premium on getting sober, and the whole Steve-O trip. I'm not gonna get sober anytime soon, but yeah, it helps, I'm sure. I'm definitely clear-headed today. I'm not where I'm usually at, because I'm not gonna give away too much, but there's a time and a place for all that. You start to learn it. Yeah, and that's just, it's weird. It's like being a double life, even when you're doing it. Shout out Cool Skull. Shout out Twitter. We're up on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Follow Cool Skull on Twitter. Follow 11toesdown on Twitter. Get on Twitter. Fuck with Twitter. Or X, I'm sorry. All that with X. Edit that and put X everywhere. But yeah, I trip out. My homie will come over here and I'm like, man, look, my CPU's running at almost 2%. And he'll be like, you're fucking stupid. He'll be like, you're actually dumb. And I'll just stress on weird little things, like the most like little things, like just seeing it, my computer strain, or I don't know, just everything bothers me nowadays. Like I said, when you notice it, it doesn't bother you when you notice it. When you don't notice it until you start noticing file sizes and stuff and everything, every little thing, bitrate and all that, you just nerd out too much. There's a point. And I guess that's the cool thing about me on this platform, is I'll always be obsessing over this shit. So if anyone ever needs a hand, even my friends, they're all finally coming around to the streaming, I'll be obsessing still over audio, be obsessing over visuals, and not because, like I said, I'm gatekeeping, not because, just because I know there's some people looking at at my stuff or any streaming stuff, and there's, like I said, a fixed meta and an industry standard that needs to be, you know, appreciated. It doesn't need to be, but it is appreciated by them, and that's like the fear. You know what I mean? It's like, I know the ratio will be like, you know, way askew for the people that, you know, are on the production side. There'll probably be like, you know, 2% of people that actually know what's going on behind the scenes, but those 2% are the ones that are gonna be. I don't want to get bullied. I just want to get fucking bullied or talk shit to. Like Ariel Pink's online all the time, going crazy, talking about the moon and shit. He's amazing, but I feel like he doesn't need to talk about that stuff. He could always fall back on his catalog and not be so open about that stuff. Not even, as you know, like I said, Sam Hyde isn't that crazy about talking about the conspiracy shit, and you know he's got crazy views. Like his homies are, who can fall into that niche, but he knows like there's a market for that, and you'll push people away. It's just like fine line, you making yourself unapproachable versus like making yourself ungovernable. And you have to be able to fucking keep a job or whatever, you know. It's cool, the meme, making yourself ungovernable and whatever, but you have to be manageable and approachable somewhat and hireable, you know. And I've learned that. I've only learned that wanting a team, like knowing how hard it is to run this shit. It sucks, you know. That's when you're like, okay, I need a team. I don't want to be the only one streaming, you know what I mean? Like the only one that knows about streaming, the only one that knows about all this shit, teaching people. I want to know. I needed some other nerds to fill in the gaps. Like, it's important. It sucks, like, to even think in those terms of like having to go out of your network of immediate friends to go find people that fit these criteria. But yeah, it's the only way. Like I said, it's just, you got to consider it as like a team or whatever. Try to nurture those around you and not fucking hate, you know, or yeah, placehold too much shit for people, because that's not going to come along until they're around, like until you put them on or go networking and have money for it. Like, it's, you know, it's crazy. The industry shit is fucked. It's you can't escape it. Management, whatever, is going to come in however many forms, whether it's in a suit or whether it's your own brain realizing that you need to manage your stuff, and yeah, your broken brain finally healing up and realizing that you're in your own way. And that's why I'm like happy that I'm not too good at any one thing, because I could see being coming in from the other end of the spectrum, you know what I mean? Just having all the same problems for all the different reasons or whatever. Too dumb for my own good, too smart for my own good. But I'm old now. I'm 34. So that shit unfortunately comes along too late, and I have to right now really start reminding my young friends, like, luckily I'm like the biggest hater of all, so most of my young friends are pretty fucking cool and open about everything. They, you know, they're not, like I said, super gatekeepery, but like it's always important just to, you know, let your friends know, like, to be a fan too, you know, step back, be a fan and appreciate shit, so you can remember the fundamentals and kind of shed your old skin and keep evolving. Even, like I said, when you're 34 and been a hater, like I was telling the homie the other day, I listened to like 5 fucking songs each year. I'll be listening to the different 5 songs, but it never gets past, like, I'm not a playlist guy. I'm trying to really train myself to just open up, let shit in, which seems like the opposite of imposter syndrome or whatever, but that ends up being like the remedy whenever you feel like a million different things. You gloss over everything for so long and don't nerd out on any one thing that you do feel like a fucking imposter. You should. That's the point. You should be checking yourself constantly. Dude, yeah, fish tank. Man. Yeah, Sam is, like I said, he's a special case. and like I was my normal co-host who I have on here all the time, Bongs, Macho Man, Shavy Chest, whatever you want to call him. He's, you know, he's not a bleeding heart or anything, but he'll see if shit for what it is and be like, man, that's fucked up or whatever. And I was telling him, it's like, yeah, anytime I get down on Sam, he'll pull some shit, some real comedy shit or whatever out and really remind people that he has humor, that he's a humorist, whatever. But I mean, Sam is what he is, whatever. Like I said, you're either with it or you're not. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, even hearing my voice when I talk about him is probably like, yeah, Sam's definitely crazy fucked. But it's like aligning yourself with certain people, of course, is gonna be like the thing that you're trying to do and get in league with certain people. And then, like I said, sometimes before you know it, it's too late or whatever, and people have their opinion on this or that, and you fell in league with these people. So yeah, I mean, of course, like I said, these people, that people would be so lucky to fucking, like, I think about it in these terms, like, I'm gonna max out at 20,000 subscribers if I keep doing producing. If I do keep doing production streams, I'm gonna max out at this. If I do interview streams, I'll likely max out at this. So it's really that. It's not even about who it is, it's about what you're aligning yourself with, and that meta, fuck the personality behind it. That's gonna come and go, and people will forget, and all people are gonna remember is the gloss. And you're insane for thinking of, that's all that. Like I said, most people, the 2%, are gonna be like, oh, that's sick, yeah, they're gonna remember it for the right reasons. Everyone else is gonna remember it for, like I said, this weird double-edged thing of like the production side where it's everything and nothing at the same time. And yeah, that's why I love Sam's shit, his crew, Bic, everyone. The look is, amazing, and it's worth tinging your own sensibilities or whatever with, feeling fucked up, or I feel like it is. That you're already doing it with religion or with the medium itself. Yeah, why not get messy? Because at the end of the day, you're not that. You know what I mean? You're appreciating it for one reason, and Sam is Sam, and you're you. Bic is Bic. Everyone on there has their own personalities, which is great about it. That's what's cool. And if you can watch long enough to realize that, that's when it gets nice and easy to watch, because it's definitely grating and hard at first before you learn the characters, and like anything else, it's abrasive as hell. It's Sam. It's a video game.